Okay, guys, as the last video finished up, we were working on our last things, and we just finished up as water vapor rises, it cools. So back in our notebook here, we are now at right here, as water vapor rises, it cools. When it gets cool enough, water vapor changes back into a liquid water. Condensation is the change from a gas to a liquid. To condense means to change from a gas to a liquid. Water vapor condenses into tiny droplets of liquid water. The droplets form the clouds you see in the sky. Sometimes water vapor condenses directly into the surface, such as grass or a window. The condensed drops of water are now called dew. So looking back over here, when water cools, water vapor back to a liquid water. So it's going to change back to a liquid water. Blank is the change from a gas to a liquid. What's a gas to a liquid? What was it called? It's right there in that very first thing. It's bolded. Yep, you should say condensation. Water vapor blank into tiny droplets of liquid water. So water vapor blank into tiny droplets. I see it. It's right here. Look for it. So you need to write condenses. S-E-S, condenses into tiny droplets of liquid water, forming the clouds you see in the sky. Sometimes water vapor condenses directly into a blank, such as a grass or a window. Condenses directly onto the surface. Right here. So, sometimes water condenses directly onto a surface, such as grass or a window. The condensed drops of water are called, look there, what are they called? Dew. Okay. Number 3, step 3. Droplets of liquid water in clouds combine to form bigger drops. When the drops become heavy enough, they fall back to Earth as precipitation. Precipitation is water that falls from the atmosphere. Rain, snow, hail, and sleet are all precipitation. Rain is liquid water. Snow, hail, and sleet are forms of solid or frozen water. Water falls into the ocean and onto land. Some water soaks into the soil and collects as underground water, called underground water. Plant roots soak up groundwater. People tap into groundwater by digging wells. Gravity pulls some water downhill to flow over the surface of land. Water that flows over the land surface is called runoff. It flows into bodies of water, such as rivers, lakes, and oceans. The sun's energy warms some of it, and it evaporates again. This keeps the water cycle going. So let's see if we can answer anything. Droplets of liquid water in clouds combine to form blank drops. So droplets of liquid water combine to form blank drops. Droplets of liquid water in clouds combine to form bigger drops. When the drops become blank enough, heavy enough, they fall back to Earth as precipitation. Rain, snow, and hail and sleet are all precipitation. Snow, hail, and sleet are forms of blank or frozen water. Right here. Snow, hail, and sleet are forms of solid or frozen water. Water falls into the blank and onto land. Some water soaks to the soil and collects underground water, called groundwater. So water falls onto the blank and onto land. On here. Step 4, look at the first sentence. Yep, oceans and onto land. Some water soaks the soil and collects as underground water, called groundwater. Gravity pulls some water blank to flow over the land surface. Right here, I see it. Gravity, look for the word gravity. Gravity pulls some water downhill to flow over the land surface. This is called, so what is it called when it flows downhill? It's in bold. Runoff. It flows into the rivers and bodies and lakes. The sun and the blank play an important part in the water cycle. The sun's what? Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta zoom out. The suns, look for the word the suns. Energy play an important part in the water cycle. Most of the blank water warmed by the sun is found in the ocean. In fact, blank percent of the Earth's water is found in oceans and blank. So we're going to turn the page. Note that the steps of the water cycle moves between the Earth's surface and the atmosphere in 3 forms: a solid, a liquid, and a gas. You will learn more about these 3 forms of matter in the next lesson. On Earth, water is the only kind of matter that exists in nature as a solid, liquid, or gas. Oops. Okay. Both the sun and the ocean play an important part in the water cycle. The sun's energy drives the water cycle. It warms liquid from the Earth's surface so that the water starts moving between Earth and the atmosphere. Most of the surface water warmed by the sun is found in the oceans. In fact, nearly 97% of the Earth's water is found in the oceans and seas. Without the sun's energy to warm it, all of the water in the oceans would be trapped on Earth's surface. It could not evaporate and move into the atmosphere. Without the sun's energy and ocean water, these would be no thing for the water cycle. Okay, so looking at this, okay, most of the blank water warmed by the, I see it. Look for the word most. Most of the, surface water is warmed by the sun and found in the ocean. In fact, how much percent did we say it was? 97% of water is found on the oceans and right there. See it? Seas. Okay? So in the next video, we're going to be reading the quiz and we're going to be answering these questions here.